Hi, it's Tony. You're in Poppopsworkshop, and today we are starting a project that is going to be a couple of cheese slicers. There will be some leftover, or maybe I make them longer cheese slicers than normal. Haven't decided yet, but we've got this great mold from Empire Goods. It's going to be perfect. You can do 4 coasters or a couple cheese slicers, whatever you'd like. Beautiful piece of Canarywood from the Woodcraft in Iowa City, and you probably have no idea what I'm going to do to finish this. Maybe you do. Maybe you don't. But this is going to be something I'm going to get ready so that next month when we're back at the Circle S Vintage and More down the road here in Crawfordsville, we'll be able to be at that market with a couple of cool boards there. I've got another board I'm going to build. I got some time, so some projects ahead. And you get to critique how well I do. Be kind, please. So follow along the video, and we'll get to making a couple of cheese slicers with Epoxy River. All right, so we've got the bark inclusions cleaned out here. This one, in fact, was all the way through. I know you can probably see there's daylight there, so that's going to be fun. I've kind of roughly drawn my river. I'm going to try to split these and get down around this figure and kind of incorporate that in one side and not the other. And Nana's done the hard part for me and chosen the beaver dust pigment that will best work as a nice contrast to that board. I'm very excited to see how that pours. So on to cutting a river. All right, so we've got everything cut, everything's in the mold. We've sprayed the mold release. I use a spray instead of a paste. It's just quicker for me. If I were doing a bigger project, I might revert to the paste so I could just really make sure I got a good coating in there. Got the color picked out. It's ready to go. I don't shake it all over myself. Going to mix up. I've got my container. I actually have 2 containers just in case this doesn't fill enough. I really need to go over the top of the board with this so that when I plane it down, I have the right thickness for a cheese slicer. I really need about 3/4 of an inch to make a decent cheese slicer. So I'm going to make sure that I have covered the entire board. So this might not be enough, 400 milliliters. And so I've got an extra couple hundred cup here. I'll just mix up another batch. It's all colored, so it's not going to be a problem. And if I go overboard and way overestimate, I have a special little form that we found this week at the little vendor swap down the road from us at it's Circle S Vintage and More. Just maybe 5 minutes down the road from us here in Crawfordsville. So great place. If you're in the area, stop by. Good people. So one of the vendors was selling these, and Nana saw them and fell in love with them. So I have extra epoxy area to pour in. That's been sprayed with mold release. So I've got everything sprayed with mold release. I'm ready to go. So we're going to start pouring out. I've made sure that I've made a mark here so that everything's in thirds, 2 to 1. So 2/3 is marked. We're going to pour the A component, then we're going to pour B, then we're going to start mixing, then we're going to add some color, and then we'll be ready to pour. So stay tuned as we get along here. I'm sorry you guys can't see the mark because I've got it marked for myself. Ooh, that was dead on. That doesn't happen all the time. Sometimes you got to fiddle a little bit with the amount there. That works. Now I just got to pour it up to the 400 mark, and I will be good to go. Almost. This is the tricky part. All right. Now, again, when you're mixing, be careful. You're not trying to whisk a meringue pie here. You're going to just incorporate these 2 elements together until it's done. So I'm going to go ahead and cut the camera out and bring you back in when we're ready to pour. All right, everything's ready. We're mixed up. On to the pour now. And as always, we start pouring one area, we stay there until we are sure she is gone all the way down to the other end. And we're filling all these holes down here. And like I said, I want this up over the whole thing. So we'll see if this is going to be enough or not. Looks like she might be. And with a deep pour resin, I have lots of open time, which means I'll be able to mix another batch if I don't think I've got enough to stay where I want it. But that is the first batch. Now we see what we'll see when this all flows down. I'll check it for level. If I need to adjust some height to level it out, I'll do that to make sure that everything's sitting in there in a nice level way. But so far, so good. Okay, that worked out really well. I got exactly what I was looking for. Coverage all over the board. Might seep down a little bit, but that's looking really good so far. We'll have some, there were some initial bubbles on top. They have already, of their own volition, popped. So I'll have a little babysitting to do over the next couple hours, make sure I'm popping bubbles. The biggest concern will be where those voids were from those bark inclusions, especially the big one up at the top of the screen. But right now I'm not seeing a bunch of air bubbles or anything looks like it's working out, so could be just fine. So we're going to babysit this for a couple of hours, see what it does, and then 5 to 7 days she'll be cured, and we'll be on to planing her down, sanding it out, chopping it up, and making some cheese slicers that are gonna be gorgeous. So see you next week. Okay, so we have poured it. It's set for the time needed. It is nice and solid. Now for one of the most satisfying parts of an epoxy project, that's the demold. So we're going to hear a satisfying crack. Oh, there we go. Now we'll flip her over. All right. Ooh. There she goes. One last little pull. Then we'll take our hammer and pop these off real quick. It'll be a little violent now. Woo! Sorry, Nana. All right. So that's done. Now put her through the planer, do some sanding, then we'll be chopping cheese boards. So, looking for the next steps. Okay, so next steps is time to plane. So this, because it's in the mold, this is probably my flattest reference surface for this board. So we're going to start with this side down, run it through the planer and clean this top edge up. Again, I'm not really trying to take off too much off this board. I like the thickness where it's at. So we're going to take it down to where you've got the wood exposed on this side. We'll flip it over, run a couple of passes there to clean this edge up and make it look nice and pretty. Really looking forward to seeing how this canary wood turned out once this epoxy is off here. I think this is going to be a beautiful set of cutting cheese slicers, rather. So looking forward to that. So let's get to planing. Okay, a lot going on there. We've got everything done up to the water pop. So we've got the grain raised on these. We'll get ready to sand those. But you saw us use our Sonnery setup blocks. These things are great, along with our 1, 2, 3 block here to get just the right dimension to cut the kerf for the cheese slicer wire. So that's all done. You saw us use this long bit, a simple doweling jig. It's super handy for me setting up the hole for the cheese slicer kit. Now I have to do that because I have a small drill press. Just I don't have enough throw to put a bit in the drill press and drill on the end of these. So that's the limitation in the shop that I've adjusted to. This setup works really good. I just clamp it to my bench. Worked great as you saw in the video. So we'll finish the whole thing, of course, with Rubio Monocoat. We love this stuff. But we're going to throw a few feet on here as well. We'll set these up, make it easy to get a hold of and move around. And we're going to set those and put those in the exact right spot with this jig from Logan Newman. Logan, this thing's amazing. So I'll leave a link in the video description where you can find some of these things. Most importantly, I'll leave a link so you can find this UltraClear Epoxy. This stuff, folks, this is an amazing epoxy. It turns out great. Wonderful finish. I can't say enough good things about it. So watch for more videos coming where we're going to be using UltraClear Epoxy. I think it's really earned a spot in our shop, and I highly recommend it. So follow along, and we'll get on with the rest of the job of getting the feet on here, getting the kit on, getting some finish on it. All right, all done. They turned out beautifully. That canary wood was amazing. And with the bark inclusions getting cleaned out on this one especially, that's got some serious interest. So just some simple and easy cutting board feet to kind of keep it up off the table a little bit easier to work with in my opinion. So nothing to add, those quick and easy. So, and with the jig from Logan Newman, it's easy. The star of the show though, clearly UltraClear Epoxy. Easy to work with. As I said earlier in the video, even the bubbles that came to the top, they kind of took care of themselves. I really didn't have to take any heat to them. So didn't do anything special, just treat it like I would any other epoxy project. And yeah, I'm sold. This stuff is top notch, good, good, good. I can't say enough good about it. So I'll leave a link where you can get some of your own, and as well as some of the other tools and things that are left. There'll be links in the description where you can check them out if you want to. A couple of them might have affiliate links. You know, we've got to keep the lights on in the shop somehow. But thanks for watching the video. It really means a lot that you took your time to sit and watch just some simple cheese slicers that I built. But hopefully you found something in the video useful. If you did, hey, let me know. I'd love to get feedback on what you find useful, what I could do different, whatever it is. Constructive criticism all just makes us grow. So thanks again for watching, and remember, you can do this.